Did you see Apple's latest Trojan Horse? Well, let's rewind for a second here. Back in 2007, when the iPhone first came out, Apple decimated the music player industry. In fact, they disrupted themselves and overthrew their big cash cow, the iPod, that we all grew to love. Fast forward a couple of years and digital cameras got better. Apple then decimated the digital camera industry through the phone. Then, almost 10 years ago, Apple again disrupted the credit card industry by releasing Apple Pay. And then now they're overhauling the merchants industry by releasing what they're calling tap to pay. And this is Apple's real Trojan horse. It's the iPhone. Over the years, Apple has built up a vast network of hundreds of millions of users. You don't need to go far in this world without seeing some form of Apple device, whether that be somebody with an iPhone or somebody with an Apple Watch or somebody sitting there with an iPad or a laptop. Apple has managed to infiltrate itself into almost every aspect of our lives, and they know it, and they own that hardware. And back when they released that iPhone for the first time, and they were willing to disrupt themselves, I believe that they knew this. They were playing a long game. And as a result, what we can see with things like Tap to Pay that just recently got announced is with the flick of a switch, not as easy as that, but near enough, they can turn their devices into something else. In this case, they've turned it into a point of sale machine and have basically rendered all the point of sale hardware obsolete. Now, of course, point of sale is going to still exist, especially for large merchants and those types of things. But imagine being a new business owner. Imagine starting a cafe for the first time. And rather than going out and spending hundreds, if not thousands, because some of these are expensive, pieces of point of sale hardware, you already own a phone. And what Apple's unlocked is the ability to use that as a point of sale machine. And somebody who is just starting out as a business, that convenience is second to none. Not to mention the businesses like trades where they're constantly mobile and they're moving around. Think about electricians and plumbers, those types of people. The convenience of having it on your phone becomes paramount. And whilst Apple is not the only person to release this, in fact, Android has had this functionality for quite some time, Apple has really been the person to pioneer and revolutionize the industry. It wasn't until Apple made this announcement just a couple of months ago, and now it's a reality, that other providers, the majors like Stripe and Square, have actually started to move in order to offer this functionality on Android. And what they've done is arguably single-handedly overhauled an industry that was once about hardware to now being about software. So what Apple has done is it has paved the way for other people to then enter into this market and not also have to provide and build expensive pieces of point of sale hardware. They can piggyback on Apple's hardware and simply offer a digital experience. And Apple has done another thing here, which is they have actually delivered banking as a service. This is some of the first steps towards banking as a service. And what Apple has been slowly doing over the last decade since they announced Apple Pay is taking bites out of the banking and financial industry. And what they've done is they've offered their hardware and the infrastructure of Apple Pay as a service. You can now build on top of it, which again, as I mentioned, changes the game from a hardware game to a software game. The people who are going to win now, it's not going to be the people who can build the best hardware. It's going to be who can deliver the best experience on top of that hardware. And this is the real Trojan horse here. Apple has realized that through their devices, they have infiltrated just about every aspect of our lives. They've built up a vast network of hundreds of millions of users, perhaps even billions of devices, and they are leveraging that. And just like with the iPod and digital cameras, this is Apple's Trojan horse. Phones disrupted them, it disrupted the credit card industry, and there's no reason why now it can't disrupt the point of sale industry and other industries as well. It'll be interesting to see where Apple takes this in the future, but they have capitalized on that network and the devices in amazing ways so far. And they have put a Trojan horse into everyone's pockets. It's very hard for others to be able to compete with that. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Apple has managed to build a Trojan horse that has infiltrated all of our lives? Let me know what you think about how they're capitalizing on it. And thanks for watching and engaging with the video. It means a lot to me and it helps. I'll see you at the next one.